Okay, nasai minasan. Today we're gonna talk about Kamen Rider Geats Jyamato Awakening. We finally watched the movie, and I have to say, I fully enjoy it. I love every minute of it. From the start to the end, it is amazing. And partly it's because how the plot is having so many twists, okay? When we actually saw like the King Jyamato turns out to be the police officer, I was like, I did not see that coming at all. I really did not see that coming at all. I really wanted to say like, oh, how the police officer is just doing his duty, but he lacks compassion. I prepared a script for him, but until the very end, I was like, damn. So he turns out to be the King Jyamato. Cut all of that out, okay? Cut all of that shit out, because he did that all intentionally just to trigger the Queen Jyamato to go berserk and ruin himself or herself, something like that, okay? So I think this is a really fantastic movie, but sadly, okay, like sadly, if you really want to get the whole context of the movie itself, it is you would need to watch Kamen Rider Geyser. It is not a full set of story. You can still watch it 55 minutes full, and if you don't really question, where does the Queen Jyamato actually come from? Where does the King Jyamato actually come from? I think you're still gonna be okay. You're not gonna feel like, oh, okay, so you're not gonna feel like something is missing. But if you have Kamen Rider Geyser, you watch Geyser before you watch Jyamato Awakening, you're gonna feel like, oh, so this is where the Queen Jyamato actually came from and all those stuff, okay? But we don't actually see where does the King Jyamato actually came from, so I don't know what about that, okay? It's fine, okay? Don't delve too deeply into where does the King and Queen came from. But hey, we finally got our King and Queen of Jyamato. For those Kamen Rider Geats fans out there, I feel like all of you guys are like really on board with me when I say we finally got what we wanted. Like we always say that, hey, we are gonna get a King and Queen of Jyamato. They're gonna be the final villain of the story and all that stuff. And yet all we got is premium Beroba and premium Kekera. And at that time, when the series are still airing, we actually call them the King and Queen of Jyamato. But right now, we officially have our King and Queen of Jyamato. And I think that is like really amazing that they actually gave us what we wanted, like the King and Queen. And it is quite obvious that all the Jyamato design are actually based out of chess pieces. So we got the root, we got the bishop, we got the knight, and all we are lacking right now is actually the what do I say, the King and Queen of Jyamato. So when we finally got them, I think all of us are like really happy that we actually got them. I'm not sure about you, but I love the design. Queen Jyamato design looks fantastic. I love they went for a whitish color and a little pink hue to the design itself. I think that is a really good idea, because it really showed us that the Queen Jyamato is on another level from the rest of the Jyamato itself. Like even the King Jyamato looks like all the other Jyamato itself. Like the design is nothing too crazy, is nothing too creative, and the color scheme is just black, which is like not the most beautiful thing. But the Queen Jyamato, fantastic. I really love it. But I think the biggest thing that all of us are actually shocked about is that the kid turns out to be the God Jyamato. Okay, I really did not see this coming. Maybe it's because I did not actually anticipate the story when I'm actually watching Jyamato Awakening. So it's like the kid turns out to be God Jyamato, and he's the reason, like he grew up to be God Jyamato and went to the future, went to the metaverse and destroyed humanity there. So we are not sure like how is he gonna deal with his Jyamato thing moving forward. And I don't think we need a story to see that he's not that important of the story. But at the end of the story, all we need to know is that right now he has a Jyamato brother, the Buffa, Michinaga Azuma, that is gonna stay on his side no matter what. Because I will say right now, Azuma is the only other human who would really fully understand what this kid is going through, Haruki is going through, because he himself also have a little bit of Jyamato inside of him. But the biggest question here is that is the Jyamato power of Buffa still inside of him or not? Because by the end when we watch this movie, right, what we saw is that his power of Jyamato is manifesting due to Beroba like sticking a stick behind him, kind of like a vampire slayer killing a vampire, something like that. But it actually turns out to kind of like force the Jyamato to come out of Michinaga. And so, but what we saw in the movie itself, like, we are taking a little bit of creative interpretation here based on how Azuma actually like holds out his hand, and we actually saw all the Jyamato thing goes into his hand and forming the rice buckle together with the power of Ukiyo as the power of wishes. It almost seems like the Jyamato cell that is inside of Michinaga actually went inside Plosion Resh itself. In a sense, Plosion Resh is a part of Michinaga right now. It doesn't actually. I don't think anyone else would actually be able to use Plosion Resh. If they actually use Plosion Resh, they might get affected by the Jyamato cell also. So my biggest, like, how do I say, my biggest theory here right now, or should I say my biggest deduction on what actually happened on that scene, is that the Jyamato cell inside of Michinaga actually got transferred inside the Plosion Resh rice buckle itself, rather than like it actually used part of the power, something like that. Maybe not, we are not sure, but and I don't think we're gonna get an answer to that anytime soon, but I'm just gonna go with that, okay? Like, so right now Michinaga's inside his body doesn't actually have Jyamato, but all the Jyamato cell is actually inside the Plosion Resh, thus allowing Michinaga to not be like awakening in a sense of Jyamato in the future. So I think that is really, really smart for them to actually do that, because it would actually help us to give a solution for the problem of Haruki itself. If they really want to tell us future story of Kamen Rider Geats, one thing that I can foresee is like the possibility of Haruki's future is that maybe he can actually use the Jyamato rice buckle, and he can use the rider belt, and then he can actually use the Jyamato rice buckle to henshin into a Jyamato form. But all of us know that he is the god of Jyamato, and he has the potential to become god of Jyamato itself. So it really depends on how they are gonna groom him and how they are gonna like raise him up to be a good God Jyamato, something like that. Okay, so not sure how things are gonna go, but things are definitely gonna be interesting if they. I mean, like, if this is kind of like a Western TV show, for sure we're gonna reach until season 10, and then we're gonna see Haruki grew up to be someone important to the story, something like that. Okay, but with that being said, let us move on to the next thing I really want to talk about, and which is the title of the show itself, Jyamato Awakens. I felt like I have never seen another movie with such a amazing title. Like, I felt like throughout the Kamen Rider franchise title, I feel like this is definitely one of the best title, Jyamato Awakening, because it is so related to the plot itself. We have not one, not two, but three Jyamato Awakening in this movie itself. Firstly, we got the queen. After the husband got killed, she has a little bit of awakening, like rawr. And then secondly, we got Buffa, we got Michinaga having a little bit of awakening moment, and lastly, we got the kid having a little bit of like water awakening moment itself. So we got three awakening moments, so that is really, really fantastic. I really love how they choose about to portray things in the movie itself. And when I talk about how I like how they portray things in the movie, I also like how this movie gives us a completion of the story itself, because we finally get to learn the origin story of the future people. Like, why do people on Earth at the end of the day choose to stay on a on a metaverse, on a digital world in the future in space. And this movie show us the reason why. And the reason is because the plant actually overgrew on Earth. Like it's kind of like nature took revenge, like took over the Earth again, and humanity cannot survive on Earth anymore. So they actually choose to digitalize themselves and send their conscious to the metaverse and live in the metaverse throughout their entire life, something like that, until one day the God Jyamato attacked and everything changed. Okay, so I think that is like really, really fantastic origin story for the future people. And they also say, I think if not mistaken, if I did not catch the subtitle wrong, is that they actually said this is already happening in the present day. I think Neon Kurama is the one that said it, or maybe it's Sarah who actually say it. I'm not sure who actually say it, but someone said that it is already happening. And this natural phenomenon is not, it might or might not actually be caused by Jyamato. We are not sure. They did not actually properly explain it, because I felt like if it is actually caused by Jyamato, they would definitely do something about it. But I don't think it is caused by Jyamato, and it is just how the nature actually choose to go about doing things. Okay, like it forces the people to the moon, to the metaverse, something like that. And I think that is really, really clever in a sense for us to actually see how it actually came about, how the future people went to the digital world, something like that. Really, really fantastic stuff. I really, really love that part of the story, and I really did not expect to see that part of the story at all. So really, really fantastic stuff here that we actually get to see from the movie. What do I think of Plosion Rage form suit, something like that? I think it is fantastic. I think Michinaga did a fantastic job in showing us how awesome, not Michinaga, okay, the suit actors show us how amazing the suit actually is. But sadly, okay, like I know there's a meme floating around the internet for a little while where Ukiyo keep on spoiling the story of Jyamato awakening, and in his spoiler he actually mentioned something about he always wanted to do a triple rider kick. And sadly in this movie we do have a triple rider kick, but Ukiyo is not part of the one of the three rider at all. It is Neon Kurama, Keiwa, and also Michinaga. Okay, so we got triple rider kick, but sadly Ukiyo is busy fighting with himself. So that is really, really sad. Okay, and speaking of Ukiyo, I really, really love how we actually got a future as who have been gone over humanity for 1,000 years, and that actually changes how he view things. And I really, really love this part about Ace, is because we can clearly see that he is not omnipotent, he's not omnipresent, and he's not like God, you know. Like I think when we talk about God, most of the time is like, at least for my own personal self, is like when I talk about God, I'm talking about the God in the Bible, the God that does not change past, present, and future. So and the reason why he is able to, he or she or God, let's just call it, the reason why God is able to do that is because God is not bound by time itself. That is what we believe in as a Christian itself. But when we saw what happened to Ace, is that he's still bound by time. He's still bound by time, and he grew tired of becoming the deity of humanity. He grew disappointed of humanity, something like that. So at the end of the day, he said he went from a God who wants everyone to be happy on earth to become a God who passed down judgment on humanity just to save humanity itself. So they went from making the world a better place to a world where humans survive. Okay, so I think that is like a little bit sad if you really think about it, but I'm also really glad our Ace actually managed to talk some sense into the future. Ace is like, bro, what the shit up, blah blah. You know, like, this is not what we sign up for. What we sign up for is to trust in humanity, that they can do it, something like that. Okay, so that is really fantastic. And I really love the message that S keep on bringing, because throughout the series, Ukiyo S seems like the old star, like star of the stars, and it is so crazy how OP he is. But at the end of the story, he actually choose to allow the rider that stick with him throughout the DGP to protect the world in his stead. Okay, like and he actually came in only when things goes really nuts, like they couldn't handle it. So I think that is really fantastic. But one thing that I felt like this movie lacks, okay, like this movie lacks a conclusion to the story for the future people itself. So we are not sure what really happened for the future people. A few questions that I have is definitely, first, is Jin right now resurrected? Is Niram resurrected? Now that the future has changed, are Beroba alive again? Because we do actually get to see Beroba, like, in a sense, dying in the past again. So what really happened? And one thing we learned is that if you die in the past, you're gonna get rebooted in the future itself. But this time it is different, because this time Beroba did not only, I don't think Beroba kind of like sends her own conscience to the I'm not sure how things work here. Like, did Beroba like went to the past with her conscience only, or like her whole body went there? Is she able to get resurrected, or in the future? We are not sure. Okay, we're not sure how things work. I don't think, maybe I'm just dumb, but then again, I don't really understand how the resurrecting stuff work. In Kamen Rider Geyser, we learned that if you die in the future, you die for real, and we saw that Jin died, and then Niram died. So two of them died. But now that the future is changed, are they resurrected? Are they, because now that God Jyamato is no longer attacking the metaverse, then is Jin and Niram alive again? I think so. Okay, I think they are being resurrected. So yeah, I think that is like just one minor thing that I felt really sad about from the movie. We don't really get a post-credit scene on what really happened in the future, something like that. Like just a conversation between Niram and Jin and future S. I think that would be fantastic, but they did not actually do that. It is okay. Another sad thing about this movie is we don't actually got a lot of Sumori screen time. We don't really have a lot of Sumori in the movie itself. So yeah, I think that is also pretty sad. But then again, it is what it is, okay? It is what it is. So if you want to go check out Monk of Sumori, make sure to, go just Google her name and find the actress name, see what other drama or movie she's acted in. Go support her drama, go watch her drama. I think that is definitely gonna help to build her up as an actress, and then you're gonna see more of her, okay? Like in other show for sure, not in Kamen Rider, but she's gonna be back in Kamen Rider Outsiders episode 5. So woohoo! Excited for that. So I think that is pretty much it from me regarding Jyamato Awakening. I really love it. I think this is a really well written finale for Kamen Rider Geats itself. And if they do want to continue on with the story of Geats, I would say I really love how Neo's Kurama's story ended, on how she doesn't need any man. No, it's not like she doesn't need any man, but she like in this movie, we still see that she still wants to find love. But now that she has found true love from the parents itself, I think her view on love has changed a little bit. But I still would really love to see, like, maybe there's a little bit of romance like hinted at us for Kewa and Neon Kurama, maybe, because in the beginning of the movie itself, it's like, why is even Kewa there? Like, why is Kewa there on a girl's day out? It's like, it almost seems like maybe Kewa, like wants to get into, Neon Kurama's pants or something like that. Maybe, or maybe not. We are not sure how things are gonna go. Anything is possible. But with that being said, that is all from me regarding Kamen Rider Geats Jyamato Awakening. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching, and I would love you to comment the word hammer in the comment section below, because this movie, bang, is a smash hit. What am I doing? I don't know, but sayonara, goodbye, subscribe if you haven't.